Hey you! Yes, you. Before the video starts, I wanted to make sure that I talked about my Extra Life campaign for this year. If you don't know, every year, Arbitrary Hero, we raise money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital along with other causes. That's something that we personally find important to do. This year, my personal goal is to raise $1,000 for Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And if you look here and down in the link down below, there is a link to my Extra Life page. If you go there, you will see for donors. I've got a bunch of different prizes I'm giving away. We've got sponsors again. Shout out to Hero Forge, Dungeon Masters Guild, Foundry VTT. And I've got Transformers and TTRPG raffle, both of those. You can see all the different raffle prizes. Here are the Transformers prizes. I want to talk about those. I've got Generations Selects Black Zarek, a bundle of Shattered Glass toys with their comics, the War for Cybertron Golden Disc collection. You can see here both the Netflix and the Origins Bumblebees together that I reviewed earlier in the year. A bunch of stuff. And all you have to do to be entered to win them is donate $10 to my Extra Life page. If we go up top again, we'll see, I know it's a long page, just like William Abe here, or Son Eric, or Thomas Gerber, you donate at least $10 and make sure it's not anonymous so I can see that you donated and enter you into the raffle. And then put in the text Transformers raffle and you'll be entered in on December 10th during our charity live stream. I'll be picking out the winners. There will be at least 10 winners, and in order they'll get to pick from the prizes. There is a chance that there will actually be more prizes added in. I'm still finalizing some of those details. So if more prizes get added, then yay, you're automatically entered to win those as well. Matching contribution. For me personally this year, aside from donating myself to the Extra Life campaign for Society Children's Hospital, myself and the Arbitrary Hero team, if I hit my goal of $1,000, I will be also donating $1,000 personally to the Center for Human Rights in Iran. If you haven't been following the protests and unrest that are happening in Iran due to the brutality of that government, the way they treat women, and their theocracy that they're enforcing on everyone else. It's an issue that's passionate to me personally. I've already, supported them and donated, but I'll be throwing in another $1,000 on top of what I've given if we reach my $1,000 goal. So knock on wood, you donate $10 and it becomes $10 to help sick kids and $10 to help the protesters in Iran. Plus you're entered in for Transformers prizes. So keep checking back on the Extra Life page. New prize will get to be added in, and I'll keep posting about it on the social media. And let's get back to the review. Thanks again, everyone. Bye. Say bye, Ollie. Bye. Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm pretty excited to be checking out Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Blaster. And Blaster came out in the end of the Kingdom line. I never picked him up originally. He came out again in Legacy. I wasn't super interested in getting another Blaster that was a boombox, but I saw he was on sale. So instead of being the normal Voyager price point here for $20 is Blaster. And yeah, this for a $20 figure, I'm pretty happy with this. Like I said, this toy is the same exact one that came out between Kingdom and Legacy. The only difference is the box. He turns into a very 80s style boombox, pretty thin box here. Something that doesn't really fit in the Kingdom line at all, maybe the Legacy. But yeah, he looks pretty good. I like the paint work we have here. Obviously, we have some plastic bleed over with the hinge. A little bit of red gets into the gray. That's the sort of thing that, is kind of inevitable with the manufacturing process. He does have all sorts of dials. None of them move, but they are nicely painted. From the side and from the back, you can see his gun back here. Yeah, he's a pretty hefty Voyager. You do have your different play buttons. Kids, I don't know if you remember back in the day, but we used to play things on these things called cassettes. And you could press like play, rewind, fast forward, pause, that sort of stuff. But if you press them here, you can pop out and you can come out with a little transparent rewind that is, like all things that are mostly transparent plastic, a little terrifying to transform. But I do like, because he's transparent, I like the effect of how that looks in the window here. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know, not much else to talk about. It obviously no reels, no wings. It's a boombox. So here is the current blaster I have in my collection. We can see, you know, similar design cues. We obviously have the same windshield, that sort of thing. This is Fall of Cybertron Blaster. They're both Voyagers. We can see kind of, I don't know, you know, side-to-side size comparison stuff. I will say I do like the plastic used here, this injected molded bronze plastic here. That looks really neat. I like this alt mode, the fact that it is an alt mode, you know, it's got wheels that move, that sort of stuff. And we'll get into robot comparisons. But there we go, those two next to each other. And here is my twin cast. This was a Transformers Titans Return blaster that I pretty poorly repainted. We can see here, like, there's ink wash bleed, there's rub here because I didn't sand things properly. The blue here looks awful, but it is a blue blaster pretending to be twin cast here. We've got something similar here. And here we can see them next to each other. Obviously, Leader price point, Voyager price point, and he's Titans Return, so he is a headmaster. But other than that, you know, I've been keeping these two as my blaster and twin cast up until now because I view them as different characters. But let's go ahead and get Blaster transformed here. Alright, to start our transformation, we're going to unplug his gun from the back. There's a little slot on the back of the gun and a tab on his back to connect things. We can open up and take out Rewind. I want to save him in this mode for a little bit because I do want to compare him to some other stuff. Close back up his chest. We can separate. There is, you can see back here, there's a little tab to separate out the handle into two chunks. Each chunk has a hole through it that can connect to the back. Oh, connect to the back of. There we go. Not really the back. I guess it's the side of his leg, the back of his boombox mode. We can separate out the skirt up here. There are two slots here that go into two tabs here. It's a pretty simple transformation for a modern Voyager, I feel. Things are connected back here, but you can just kind of rotate out this leg a little bit. There we go. And we can show this tab here was connecting up into here, and then this fist was sliding back into the recess there. With the leg out, we're going to fold down this panel, fold that panel over, and then bring out his foot. Can I get my... There we go. Like so. Same thing on the other side. We're just kind of separating out. There we go. There is, I guess, what we kind of, and it's hard to do because the hinge doesn't go that way, but there is a tab here that goes into this recess right here, and that's kind of what locks everything up into place. And I will say he does lock together really nicely. I like that. The Voyager feels very, very solid as his boombox mode. I think we get that ankle tilt out so we can get our nail or our finger down there, open up those legs. Then we can rotate around his waist, which lets us flip the legs around so that the black bars are on the outside. Flip around our speakers, so he's got his shin speakers. Come up top, we flip the arms 180 and bring the wrist in. Same thing on the other side, just bring it in. And I'll talk about that in a second. I don't love that transformation. You'll see it doesn't have a strong locking point, which is unfortunate. And then we come in on the back here. We're just going to open up the back and lets us flip out our blaster head. We can actually maybe do that. No, it goes the same amount either way. I'll see if there's a better way for me to get my finger down there. Nope. All right. And here is Blaster in his Voyager bot mode, and he is a nice tall Voyager. We're gonna scoot him back just a little bit, and we'll go ahead and go to announcing the winner of our Cosmos giveaway and be right back. Alright, and here are all the entries for our Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Cosmos giveaway. Again, anyone who commented on the video, I appreciate it. Those of you that commented and asked to be part of the giveaway, answering the question of the day, you got the heart to help me keep track. Here are all the comments on the left, and over here on the right, We just had 7 entries for this one, which makes sense to me. It's Sterling 30 Cosmos. Most people, I think, are probably looking forward to the Legacy version. But let's see who our winner is. Ran between 1 and 7. We have a winner at number 1. Oh, Skeleton King. Congrats. Skeleton King, congratulations to you. Reach out to me over on any of our social media, Discord, Reddit, all that stuff, Twitter. And we'll get Cosmos bundled up and shipped to you as soon as possible. Congrats again, and let's get back to the review. All right, congratulations again to the winner of Thrilling 30 Cosmos. Before we get into Blaster, I do want to talk about his cassette tape buddy here. And it is a cassette tape. It's hard to make things out here on Rewind because he's all transparent, but he does have some 5mm pegs that represent kind of the wheels on the cassette. And he looks pretty nice aside from being, you know, transparent. And I like the effect in general, but I recognize the fragility this makes, this puts into plastic. He is like standard War for Cybertron Kingdom Siege style. You can see here he is next to a Frenzy. So that does mean that this is cross-compatible. It's a little tight, but it does in fact fit in there, which is a nice plus. Sucks that it doesn't seem to fully engage with the mechanism. I think maybe there's just slightly, I don't know, the thickness seems to be right. This dimension seems, somehow it just doesn't want to engage fully in terms of launching the way Eject does. Let me see if I can make this work. Yeah, it just seems a little too much to get him to launch, which is unfortunate. Because I think that's the thing that excited me about Blaster more was, rather than Blaster himself, which is fine, getting more of these little guys was what was exciting to me. And I do have other rewinds, but I like the idea of having, like, all my little cassette equivalent, whatever you call them, data disc guys in the same format. Here's my current rewind. It is rewind from the Fall of Cybertron Blaster that I mentioned earlier, and this does have the gimmick where you drop him down and he kind of forms out instantly, and that's a lot of fun to me. I like that. I like it's not as articulated or anything as these other toys, but in conjunction with his with the Fall of Cybertron Voyager Blaster's ability, I just like the way this looks and the function it has, and I've got all of those little data discs. I do also have, I believe this is Eject. Hopefully I'm not mixing these guys up, but I have Eject here, and I've obviously been able to re-sticker him with, you know, as the, what is he called, the Dispensor. And this is from Titan's Return, so he's Titan's Return compatible, obviously significantly larger. He does have like a tank mode, but if we get him into his, let me see if I remember how this works. I don't want to break anything. You know what, I'm going to do this off camera super quickly. So we can see here kind of the different sizes. Obviously this is more of a Legends figure. But it's neat to see everyone kind of, you know, using the same format. I hope we get a bunch more of the cassettes. I don't know what, like, price point or anything they'd release them at, because they're not really doing, like, they're not doing the patrols anymore, which is where they release the original extra ones. But it just would be, to me, a very big shame now that we got, you know, Kingdom and Legacy Blaster to not be able to fill out the team. It is, let's see if we can get that ball joint out. So yeah, his transformation we can see is pretty simple. And you got to get your nail in there. I might cut here. Ah, there we go. And we can see here, he actually folds out to be just a little bit bigger and more articulated than the than the War for Cybertron ones. So this feels like a big win, and in fact, maybe we are able to get these guys redone again in this scale. It is a little annoying to me that we keep getting the cassettes over and over again in new formats instead of like just finishing them out. It would be nice if they, like Hasbro said, okay, we're going to keep this chamber the same, but whenever we do new versions of the character, we'll make sure this is compatible with all of these guys, so you can go back and get old cassettes and they work with the new toy. That's something that kind of keeps me hesitant about checking out, like, and planning on picking up new blasters and sound waves. Once I like have a squad of the cassette guys, I very, like, the inertia is there to keep me using, you know, the same older toy. But other than that, I mean, this is still a very solid deluxe, nicely painted face here. The eyes, I feel like, could be a little brighter. There is some good wiggle here, some good articulation. 360 on the shoulder. He can go out that far. He does have a bicep swivel. He goes a little deeper than 90 here. No wrist swivel. And here's my complaint, is that if you notice when I'm reposing, he wants to disconnect here very easily. He wants to disconnect there very easily. It's very easy to give Blaster like a broken arm, which is really unfortunate. And I feel like there's enough platform here where this could have been a mushroom peg. But he just needs something else. Maybe there could have been a panel here that flips down to lock it from both sides. I think that would have been a big plus. But other than that, his leg articulation is pretty good. He goes, you know, that far forward. He can go that far backwards before he starts hitting that hinge. He does have thigh swivel. He can go that far before he goes into his box. But if you open it up, then, you know, you can disguise it and go a little bit further, but maybe not enough to be worth it. And he does have ankle tilt. So nicely posable, you know, pretty standard posability. Just this one bit of the transformation, the fact that that breaks so easily. And there obviously is a tab here, but it's not doing a good job resisting motion in this direction, which is what it really needs to do. Other than that, I mean, I think he looks great. I think he looks great with... have I been calling him the wrong thing the whole time? This is Eject, isn't it? It's not Rewind. I've been probably messing that up this whole time. But they look great together. I like that he's the same size as the Kingdom stuff, as the Siege stuff, which makes sense because he is released in Kingdom, part of the same trilogy. Because he showed up in Legacy, I'm hoping we get, you know, new Legacy cassettes somehow, hopefully. And yeah, I think this is to me, if you don't have a blaster or cassette tape and you want one, this is a really good Voyager, especially for the price point. If you can get him on sale, if he's like $25, less than $30, pick him up, because I think that's a great Voyager price point, and he's a really, really solid toy. This guy, Eject here, I'm worried about his fragility, especially all that transparent plastic. I know we've got Shattered Glass Soundwave out, and I think it's doing the same thing. So it's got me worried that that's what they're going to be doing for the foreseeable future, which would be a shame, because I mean, nicely painted little tape guys, I think, are the way to go. But other than that, a pretty easy recommendation. That being said, I think that I am going to be keeping my existing blaster, and let me show you why. The reason that this can't be the blaster in my collection is because I still very much love the Fall of Cybertron Blaster. I like how much bigger he is. I like his chunk. I love these giant shoulder pauldrons. I love his dumb, weird, like oddly thin legs and thighs that go down into big, beefy stomping boots down here. Just comparing these two together, like, this is the blaster I still want in my collection. I really like this head sculpt. I mean, if we can we get the camera in on that? Maybe tilt it a little bit. Yeah, like, that's a smile. That's a confidence. The light piping is great. Yeah, this is still my blaster. I think if you don't have one, you know, this, or you want the most G1-y G1 modern blaster, get the Kingdom toy. But if you're looking for, like, just a cool interpretation of blaster, the Fall of Cybertron one is a fantastic toy, and he has his own launching gimmick. I don't know if I can make this work on camera. Let's see. Can I get one of these out? These are stuffed to the gills. Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, he can actually launch things. One more. Let's do one more. Yeah! Well, he landed wrong, but... Oh, and there we got a little rhino. One more. Hey! There we go. Yeah. I love that gimmick. Like, that's so dumb, but so cool. And now we've got, you know, deployed little guys. I dig it a lot. And then I've got, you know, twin cast over here. Now, obviously, if you're looking for, like, accuracy or whatever into the cartoon, this is not the mold to go with. But look at this. This is a big, meaty leader. Again, really terrible blue paint by me. But he deploys himself. And the big reason I still have this guy, like I painted him myself. He's got like dumb 3D printed parts, extra parts for his base mode. And actually I keep Twincast mostly in base mode because I really love the Titan's Return play pattern. So I usually keep him in base mode, and then I've got my other vehicles and Titan Masters running around. But yeah, that's it for today's video. This was probably a little long on the longer side. But this blaster, that means this blaster, he needs a home. And it's going to come with the little guy, so it's them together like normal. If you, for whatever reason, if you haven't gotten a Kingdom Blaster yet, or a Legacy Blaster, because it's the same toy, yeah, they're looking for a little home. I think the question of the day today is actually going to be a favor. It's the middle of the Extra Life campaign. I mentioned that in the winners, the giveaway video for the day. So the giveaway part of the video. So I think my question of the day is just, can you do me a favor and can you share my Extra Life page on social media? It's that simple. Just leave a comment down below saying you shared it. I'm not going to check or anything. We'll say the honor system. But if you don't know, Extra Life helps raise money for sick children. I'm raising money for the children that are served by the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I have a bunch of Transformers prizes that I'm raffling off to donors. A $10 donation gets you an entry. Winners will be picked during our live stream in December. And you get to pick your prize in order. I've got a bunch of really cool Transformers prizes. So if you can go and share my Extra Life page, that would be a huge help. We're hoping to hit $1,000 this year. We're almost halfway there, I think. I don't know by the time this video comes out. Hopefully we're even a little closer. But that's it for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope whoever wins Blaster enjoys him, and I'll catch you next week. Bye!